Hi there, it's English Student to Student, where people from all around the world come to learn English as the second language. Our subscribers are at B2 C1 level, and it's already impressive, yeah? And they join on some speaking sessions on various topics, pick up new phrases, and have a great time connecting with others. And each session is about 40-45 minutes long. Sounds great, I like it. Well, if you haven't tried English Student to Student yet, check out the video description for a link to book your free first session. Pay attention, it's free. In this video, I'll show you how to use our meeting plan during a speaking session. Each session has 4 main parts: an intro, introduction, reading an interesting text, practicing the target phrases, and having dialogue itself. And this week, we're focusing on shopping. And we'll walk through each part of the session together. So let's get started. First, you'll tell your speaking partner a bit about yourself, an introduction. I'm Ksenia, a co-author of this blog. I'm from Russia and I work in the educational sphere. I'm a private tutor for young English learners, and also I work at university as a clerk. I adore gardening and reading, especially detective stories by different authors. And what about you? What kind of books do you like? And today we are going to talk about shopping. I'll read a text and highlight some of the target phrases along the way. So let's go. Shopping behaviors and consumer trends can vary significantly across different cultures. Here are some of them. So we are going to speak about China, Japan, the African and Australian continents. Let's speak about China first. Chinese consumers or shoppers are known for their ardent passion for shopping. Spending an average of 4.9 hours per week browsing and buying online. So ardent passion means that they adore doing something, they have very strong love or desire for shopping, and pay special attention to the preposition for. It's passion for shopping. So they spend about 4.9 hours per week browsing and buying. Well, I do the same, in a year, so they spend about almost 9 hours. I'm so shocked that they spend so much time on this. They could have done something better than simply buying something new, but it is what it is. And Chinese consumers or shoppers, don't forget about it, spent over $1.5 trillion on e-commerce in 2021. Oh my god, such a big number, so much money. I don't know, China really leads the way. So e-commerce means that it's online businesses. They spend so much time and so much money simply buying something online. I have no idea what could have been it. I'm just shocked. I have no words for this. Speaking of e-commerce, I prefer offline businesses because I like to touch the object, to try it on, to try on some clothes, to do it in the real life, not online. Because, of course, I trust some businesses that sell their goods online, to this e-commerce, but still prefer something else. And now we're going to speak about the Japanese way. Japanese shoppers are renowned for their meticulous attention. Be renowned for meticulous attention to detail and preference for high quality and often limited edition products. So we have 2 phrases here: be renowned for and meticulous attention. Be renowned for means that something is known for. Pay attention to the preposition again, renowned for. And meticulous attention, meticulous, very careful attention. And the customers often seek out local businesses that offer handmade items. So they prefer offline businesses. As I can see, they don't like e-commerce, and well, I suppose the Japanese people may have this ardent passion for shopping as well as Chinese people. And well, speaking of my country, speaking of Russia, I can't say that handmade items, high quality items are that popular in Russia. Of course, like handmade high quality goods are popular, of course, but not the handmade ones, because they may be more expensive than the rest of the goods and the items. And now we're going to speak about the African continent, African entrepreneurship. Like, it means the skills in starting new businesses in African countries. Across Africa, informal street markets and small businesses thrive, showing different shopping habits across the whole continent. Well, small businesses thrive means that they become successful, popular, and they show different shopping habits. And in Kenya, a new mobile payment system has revolutionized how people shop. Revolutionized means that people have something new, like really new. They don't have the same things. So, speaking of my country, well, we have a Russian payment system, and I suppose, like, when it was invented, it has revolutionized how we shop. But I can't say that small businesses thrive here. I don't really know about it that much, but still I'm not so sure that I can strongly say that small businesses or definitely e-commerce thrive here. Let's go further to Australian retail therapy. Australians are known for their love of outdoor shopping experiences, from bustling farmers markets to seaside bazaars. The Queen Victoria Market in Melbourne is one of the largest open-air markets in the Southern Hampshire, attracts millions of visitors each year. Well, bustling farmers markets means that they are very busy, noisy, and all the stuff. And I suppose that Russians are like Australians, a bit like Australians in this question, as we still like the markets, which may be bustling sometimes, especially now in autumn, because I live near a farmers market, and there are so many old ladies and men, old gentlemen, who sell a lot of goods, like a lot of vegetables and fruit. And I like it because they're of really good quality and really tasty. And now we're going to speak about pros and cons of something, as I can see. So, as e-commerce continues to grow, e-commerce, don't forget that it means online businesses, continues to grow, there is still debate about the pros and cons of online and offline shopping. Here are some points, read them one by one. So now we're going to speak about pros and cons of online shopping. Let's start. Pros: convenience means that something is really comfortable. Customers or shoppers can shop from the comfort of their own homes 24/7 without having to travel to a physical store. Well, 24/7 means that all the time, they can do it all the time, and well, I can agree with it, as when I don't feel really good, I prefer buying some goods, for example, products at home, not going somewhere else. And also one of the pros of online shopping is access to reviews. Online shoppers can read reviews from other customers to help inform their purchasing decisions. Reviews means like the opinions of other people who tried this, who know what it is, and tell the rest of the people about this product, for example. And now we're going to speak about two cons of online shopping, and the first one is lack of tangibility. Lack of tangibility means that it's not physical. We can't touch it, for example. Customers cannot physically touch, feel, or try on products before purchasing or buying them online. And I suppose it's the main con for me, because I really need this physical touch, for example, and this lack of tangibility is the worst thing for me. Speaking of e-commerce, don't forget that it means online businesses. And the second con here is delivery times. Depending on the retailer and shipping option, it means that the retailer is a business that sells products directly to a customer, to a shopper, for example, a shopkeeper. And speaking of the con, a retailer and shipping option, customers may have to wait several days or even weeks to receive their orders. Well, I don't really like to wait to buy something. I paid money, for example, the money is gone and I still don't see the good I bought. So I don't really like to wait for long weeks. Weeks, months, it's impossible for me to wait for such a long period of time. So I prefer either to wait for a day or two, or simply to buy something in an offline shop. And now we're going to speak about offline or in-store shopping, the pros of these. So it's immediate gratification. Customers can take home their purchases immediately without having to wait for delivery. It's speaking of me, I adore it. So I've paid my money and I can touch the good I bought, the thing I really wanted, for example. And this waiting is not for me. And the second point here is personal assistance, personal help. Customers can receive personalized advice, the advice that can help personally them, and support from knowledgeable sales staff in a physical store. Knowledgeable sales staff is well-informed workers in shops who help clients. So I can't say that I use their help really often, but still someday I'm 100% sure that I'll need this knowledgeable sales staff. And sometimes when you can't decide, for example, which good to buy, you really need this person who is knowledgeable about all the things. Speaking of this thing, all the pros, cons, and the advice that may be needed. And speaking of the cons of offline or in-store shopping, it's a limited selection. Brick and mortar stores, which means offline physical shops, for example, department stores. So customers there have fewer products and brands that they can buy or that the brick and mortar store can offer compared to online retailers. And don't forget that a retailer means a business that sells products directly to a customer. So I can't say that I have this problem so often, really often, when I don't have a good or a product that I really need and an online retailer can offer it to me and a brick and mortar store cannot. But still, I believe some people have it in megapolises, for example, where a lot of people live and they have fewer products to offer. And the second con here is time commitment. Customers must travel to the physical store location and spend time browsing and making their purchases, buying something. Well, I suppose that, again, in megapolises, they have this problem of going somewhere for a long period of time and then going back home for a long period of time. But when you travel by car, for example, and you feel comfy here, you have this convenience of traveling by car. This process is not that awful. And I believe that everything here depends on the company you're traveling with. For example, when you travel alone, it may be a bit dull to sit and and simplicity. But when you have a company with you, for example, your friends or your family, you may have a great dialogue with them, or just if you like traveling alone, you can listen to music and have some great time even traveling. So that's the text we've had for this week. Speaking of shopping, we've read about 4 countries and about the trends of the customers there, like customers and the consumers, and we've spoken about online and offline shopping, about pros and cons there. So the next step is going to be looking through the target phrases, but we've already done it. And speaking of the task, our students do to practice and memorize the phrases, they usually have either making up sentences or filling in the gaps activity. Now we're going to do the exercise, so it's making sentences. The first phrase is 24/7, and I believe that the customer service team but it must be available 24/7 to assist all of the shoppers on the customers. The second phrase is brick and mortar store. While online shopping is convenient, many customers still prefer the experience of brick and mortar stores. It's my personal preference. The third phrase, be renowned for, and the sentence is, for example, the city is renowned for its beautiful historic architecture and cultural scene. But don't forget about for, it's the preposition here. Then the phrase number 4, bustling farmers markets. For example, the bustling farmers markets on the weekends offer a wide variety of fresh, local grown produce. I like these products, by the way. They are the tastiest for me. I don't know, I prefer these markets to some department stores, for example, or some shops with products, because I don't know how to express it, as these old ladies and gentlemen always grow tastier food for me, as I can see. The phrase number 5, knowledgeable sales staff. The knowledgeable sales staff at the electronics store are always able to provide personalized recommendations. For example, a couple of months ago when I bought a new laptop, I needed the help of these sales staff who know everything about the electronics, and their help was really appreciated by me because I really needed it. And the last one, number 6, the phrase number 6 is e-commerce. The rise of e-commerce has transformed the way people shop, allowing them to purchase or to buy goods and services from the convenience of their own homes. But still, it's not about me. I prefer brick and mortar stores. And then, after doing this task, our students usually move to the dialogue, and they have 4 or 5 questions for each lesson. And here, I suppose we've almost discussed all of them, and I'm just going to read them, to look through them with you together. So our students on the topic of shopping will discuss: do you like shopping? Why not? What's your favorite store to shop at and why? The second one, what do you prefer, online and offline shopping? Why? So I've mentioned both of them, like both questions for now. The third one, which of the shopping trends from different countries do you recognize in your country? I've said this too. Point 4, describe your usual shopping routine. Do you make a list, compare prices, etc.? And the last one, number 5, what is the most recent big purchase you've made and how did you decide on it? So it was my laptop again. I mentioned this question. Well, that's the end of the plan, and actually this is usually the end of the session, the speaking session at English Student to Student. Don't forget that you have an opportunity to book your free first session, so it's absolutely free. Pay special attention to this. I hope you liked the video. I really wish to see you soon. Bye!